Sup guys, it's Desrow. We're back with Gold Speed Ahead! Season 2, Episode 1. The show has been on a hiatus because I went to China. I made it to WCS premiere, a bunch of stuff. So the first episode will be just getting back into it, 100 APM, try to explain every single thing I do. And next week, if there's something you want me to focus on, whether it's harassing, 2 base all-ins, 3 base all-ins, 1 base all-in, you know, the list goes on. If there's like a specific topic that you think that I can work on for an hour or that's like detailed or whatever, just suggest it in the comments on YouTube or on my website or Twitter, Facebook, everything desrowfighting. And also make sure to visit ggtracker.com if you want to keep track of your progress. You can upload all your replays. So let's get into it now. There's a little problem, which is that the guy from GG Tracker has been a little bit inactive, so we're in silver, but it's about the same. But yeah, it's gold speed ahead. I'll try to explain everything. For the people in chat that are watching the stream live, you can ask me strategy questions if you're asking about something else. I can't really answer you. I'm trying to keep this as educational as possible, so if people tune in and they watch this for an hour, they really get the most out of it. So we get a turn on this map. This map used to be a good map back when all-inning was a thing. Also, this season, 1 control group for my army. That will be the hardest thing for me to get over, by the way. So, no... do I stretch it and not key the observer? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. If I end up doing it, you can complain in the comments on YouTube or in chat, and maybe I'll stop. But really the goal is just 1 control group. Oh, well, okay. You don't see this probe. The reason for 1 control group is that it's a common thing among Gold League. I always recommend people, you know, if they come to me, they're like, Desrow, I want to get coached. I'm like, okay, just watch my guide on hotkeys, because hotkeys are the fundamentals of good mechanics. Hotkeys and camera locations. So we'll be doing 1 control group, but we'll still do the camera locations because to me they're vital. You know, if you have to, let's say you're getting harassed, you have to pull everything, bam, click here. That's really quick. You don't have to jerk all over the place like, oh my god, where did I go? Where did I go? Okay, over here. Alright, let's go back. You know, so we'll do 13 gate, and then we'll do 13 gate, 14 gas, and then probe up. Oh my god, I did 108. I'll have to be careful. Slower, Desrow, slower. Keep in mind the 108 PM is average, so at the end of the game we'll see if I ended up staying below 100 average. But I'll try not to go past 100. Of course, oh, see, I forgot the panon. This panon should have been on 16, since we're not grabbing a second gas. The build we'll be doing for this game will be a very simple 1 gate expand, just to get back into it, because, you know, it's not that easy to commentate everything, so just we'll do this one for myself. So I clicked on this gas, and it's not a really early gas, it's just very standard, and he's going for a Reaper, so let's leave. So you want to send a probe a little bit early, because if he puts down an engineering bay and blocks you, you're going to be sad. So there's nothing there, so we'll cancel the Zealot when the time comes. This is really hard playing slow. Alright, so there's no engineering bay, cancel the Zealot, make the Nexus. Now after that you want the Mothership Core, because the Reaper will come very quickly. And without the Mothership Core it's really hard to beat a Reaper, you know, just with probes. And also a Stalker takes 42 seconds compared to the Mothership Core, which takes 30 seconds. So that's why you want a Mothership Core instead of the Stalker. You will never kill a Reaper with a Mothership Core, but you will scare him, and like he should technically not be able to kill a probe, but you know, it's not the end of the world if he does. So I did not key the Mothership Core yet, and I probably won't. So making a Stalker afterwards, grabbing Warp Gate Research as soon as I can spare the minerals. The Warp Gate Research being fast is not that important. Having a Stalker early, having the gas, the pylon. Those are important things you need to do. I'll put the build order on my website. So I'll try to write down the build orders of every build I do in this game on my website, desrowfighting.tv. I made a new version recently. So we'll get the core, or the robo, because we need to see... oh, see? Exactly. So he's going for a factory. So what he did is he expanded into a factory and a starport. So he'll be dropping some mines, but they won't be too early. So it's not that big of a threat. Okay. Okay. It's not... You're not in danger right away. But you'll still need some detection. That's why opening Templar and relying on a cannon is doable, but it's not... It's definitely harder than just going for a robo. So that's why, you know, sometimes people they're like, oh, you always do the same build, but yeah, it's just much more easier to go for a robo. It's safe, you know. It's like getting a robo is like getting a degree, and then going cannon Templar is like trying to be a painter. Like, just to tell you the sort of like security and how safe you can be. So so I've got the forge. Armor is good because with Guardian Shield you benefit a lot from the armor. Your Zealots have 1 natural armor. Guardian Shield gives you 2 armor. And so if you can raise the armor up, the Marines, which have very low damage, 6 or 7, they end up doing very little. So here what we're going to do is we're going to group up these 2 stalkers. I haven't been keeping track of my APM, by the way. These 2 stalkers with the observer, 1 cannon for the main, and the drop will come soon. Now, one thing we can do is we can go for the Twilight, because he doesn't have barracks right away, right? He has a factory, so you can go for the Twilight because you're not going to need the Colossus as quickly as other games versus Terran. Because, you know, I see a lot of people, you know, they die to Terran and they're like, Desro, I just died to their timing push. Well, it's not really a timing push, it's more like, oh yeah, I can't key the observer. It's not a timing push, it's more like you just need AoE versus Marines. That's all there is to it. So you see, now he's adding his barracks, so now would be a good time to put down the Robobay. Going for Blink gives you mobility. So we'll get another Stalker. Going for Blink gives you mobility, and it makes it easier to defend the Medivacs. So we'll put a cannon at every base, because there it is, okay. Let's pull it away. You see, I use the camera locations. Well, this guy didn't borrow anything, but okay. So we're gonna chrono all the things. We're gonna go up to 7 gates. 7 gates gives you enough production to spend your money off of 2 bases. If you have 6 gates, you'll end up floating, but with 7 gates, it'll be good enough. So 7 gates, not the most beautiful positioning on 1 pylon, very easy to snipe if he drops because photon overcharge won't reach. So adding a few gates here, like by 2, so like a pack of 2, so like 2 here and then 2 there is usually what I would do. So we're at 26 workers here. Usually versus Terran, you want to wait to expand until they expand, because it's going to be hard to, but we can stop workers. Like 26 is pretty good, because you want to wait, because like let's say you're in gold right now, right? Your money would be floating. Like I'm starting to float a little bit, my gates are not ready, and so if you grab and expand on top of floating, because you're just gonna, and on top of that, this guy's on 5 racks or 4 racks, but there's no sign of him expanding. So if I were to expand right now, it might be scary. Alright, so we have a bunch of stalkers. Now keep in mind those stalkers are not they're not fighting units. Like, they're good, but they're just there to snipe Medivacs. Like, they're good early on, but the longer the game goes on, the more Marauder he has, the weaker they get. So for now, I'm getting a bunch of stalkers so I can blink to snipe a Medivac, but the meat shield is my Zealots. They're very important. Oh, I'm really getting supply block. I'm trying to stay under 100 APM, that's why. That's gonna rocket my APM.
Research complete.
240. Okay. So, if we take a look again at what he's doing, he's not moving out, so we'll expand, even though it's risky, because we have a well-rounded army. Of course, we don't have Storm, but he doesn't have Vikings, so the Colossus are not in danger. We're going to chrono the upgrades again. We're going to get charge. And we're going to make more Zealot. Okay. So before he comes, because we know he's coming, we can try to spread a little bit. Focus the Medivacs. Blink. There you go. Okay, like he didn't see that the rocks were down, so he clicked over here. So the Medivacs went straight, but the army went around, and now he lost all his Medivacs. So we'll keep chronoing the forge. We'll transfer some of the workers. So he's now killing the rocks. We have enough for 4 force field, so we'll get ready. And we'll move the Mothership Core now that we can photon overcharge. And we'll start transitioning for the Templar. Do we see a third? If there's no third, we're better off not making more probes. Like, we can make a few and add like a couple of gates. But if you make probes and he attacks right away, your expand isn't paying itself off. And so that's very risky. But we'll take the chance. So one control group, guys. I feel very dirty, but... And we're not going to grab the gases. Oh, so he does have an expand. It was building in his main, I didn't see it. So now, because he has... we can grab... Because he has an expand, we can grab the gases, it's safer. Get the Templars early. Even though Storm isn't finished, so we can build up energy. And because we're probing up a little bit more, we're going to add extra gates to make sure we can spend our money. So that'll make us up to... We'll be up to... That's 14 gates. No, 13 gates. Which is very good. A very good count. If we don't get supply block too much, we should be able to get up to 200 supply shortly. We have 5 Colossus. 5 Colossus is a good number. 6 is a better number. More than that, and if they have a lot of Vikings and your Colossus die, you're gonna have a hard time. So we'll wrap around and put a Templar there, and Chrono, and then more Zealot, and then 2 more pilots. So you see he's gonna come right now. Okay, so we're gonna attack move. We're gonna blink so the Medivacs don't leave. And we're gonna counterattack. Now, I keep hearing minerals fields have depleted. It's these little folks that are mining out this base. So transferring them to the third is good. Even though it might oversaturate the third, it's better than to do long distance mining. Like, long distance mining is risky. Sometimes it's good, but just if you start transferring as soon as it says minerals fields depleted is a pretty good thing to do. So if you guys have feedback on some of the things I haven't talked about, because there's so much going on with keeping my APM low, feel free to leave it in chat. I'll try to read it. I'm gonna go to, because before every episode I post it on Reddit. Reddit is a community StarCraft site for some of you guys that don't know it. So every week, if you have a build that you want me to do, go in the thread and just ask for it. Some of those things, you know, like the genius build, I don't even know which one it is. The aggressive PvT builds, I could maybe try that, but keep in mind it's gold. It's for gold people, so something not too complicated. I know there's where is he? Donkey Breath. I know he wants me to do a 3-gate versus Zerg, a 3-gate with a Forge and a Robo. So we'll try to do that one. But just, you know, mentioning the Reddit thread, if you guys want to leave, go leave comments. It always helps. So let's search for another game. But that was, you know, that was not too complicated. Just get 7 gates, have enough Colossus. Don't expand too early because you don't want to die to turn. Because, you know, at some point when you're going to get like to higher gold, higher plat, people will have a lot of Vikings, and then if you expand too early and you only have like 2 Colossus, you might die. So that's the thing to keep in mind. The APM for that game was 58. So 58 was the APM. Tried to keep on under 100. We have another turn. Okay, so someone in chat is asking, when you scouted the gas, you said not much gas has been mined. So how do you know it's little and what is a lot? So by the time I scouted, if he would have had like 30, okay, so you start with 25, right? You start with 2,500 gas. If he would have had 2350, like 2,350, that would be gas first, because it'd be like a lot more gas. But when I scouted him, he was at 2420, which is about 80 gas, which is enough for a Reaper. And then he can either save the gas for a factory like he did after expanding, or he can put down a reactor right away. So those are little things that eventually you scout and you start to understand and learn. It takes time, and the best way to learn it is to try to watch a replay. Of course, you know, if you're in gold, the guy that you're playing might be freestyling and not aware of what he's doing, but alright, so we have a Zerg. Donkey Breath on Reddit really wanted to see 3-gate, 3-gate with a Robo and a Forge. It's not the best for this map, but we'll try it regardless, just so I can fulfill his destiny. Because he's been asking me for a couple of days now to do that build. So keep in mind, I don't have the time to read every single comment in chat. So if you feel like I'm ignoring you, it's not the case. I'm just trying to do everything at once. And I'm one man, so. So again, Gate Expand. I think last year Gate Expand wasn't as popular, so I might have not covered it. There's a few ways to Gate Expand. Well, my pawn would have been late, but if you're afraid of a Zerg being run by, you can put the pawn here, and then gate and core, just like in the beginning of Wings of Liberty, if some of you guys are old school or veterans of StarCraft. Or you can just put it next to your Nexus. Next to your Nexus has the advantage that it's easier to fight off a 6-pool, because the probes are right there, instead of the, you know, the pawn being here, but... Alright, so we're going to scout after the gate, because you want to know if you're getting 6-pooled or not, and then 14 gas. I've been showing this build, some of you guys might have seen me coach Smix. I've been showing her this build, which is a pretty simple build if you're just starting out and trying to learn the game. And keep in mind there will be the build order on my website of this when I post it tomorrow. So tomorrow around 7 AM it'll be posted on my website with the build order. Let's go. The core, as soon as you have the money. So his spawning pool is not early. It was probably built around 2 minutes and 5 seconds, which is just a 14 pool or a 15 pool, nothing too fancy. Now we see that he's expanding, so making the Zealot is just like a safety measure. It's not very important. I'm microing this probe too much. We're in gold. But sometimes when you're doing gate expand, building the Zealot just like you would versus Terran is very good, because they might steal your hatchery with... they might steal your natural with an hatchery. And if they do, you need 2 Zealots and a mothership core. So I know some people have had problem with that in the past. Now, the reason I said gate expand is not so good on this map is because this natural takes 3 buildings and a pylon. So it's a little bit expensive, but we'll do it. We'll be brave. Not hotkeying the mothership core in this matchup is going to be really hard for me, but that's what the sacrifice you have to make when you're Gold League. Oh no, not my dog. Okay, hold on. Well, that's gonna help my APM average, that's for sure. Alright. So we'll chrono some probes. So the build I wanted to show was 3 gates with a forge into a robo, and then you take a third. It's not too complicated, it's very simple. 3 gates, so 1 gate expand, 3 gates, a forge, and then a robo. So here I'm leaving the probe because, well, we won't leave the probe. We'll just put the mothership core outside so that we see if Zerglings are coming. Now, you don't want to have 20, you want to have 16 because that's optimal. So we're going to transfer. If you don't have enough chrono to chrono both the natural and the main, always pick the natural because the probes will get there quicker. So we'll make some more sentries. Because with this build, you get sentries out of your gates, since the warp gate doesn't get there quick enough. The problem here is if I make more sentries, like I'm supply blocked basically. Like I'm not supply blocked, but I'm supply blocked for more sentries. But warp gate will finish soon, so it's not too bad. You get the robo, get another gas, and keep chronoing workers. Okay, and another pylon. Get +1. We could have got +1 a little bit earlier. Trying to do everything slow is almost as distracting as trying to be too fast. Okay, this pylon finishes. We'll make another one. At this point, once you're on 2 base, so we're going to take like an 8-minute third with a robo and a forge. Why the robo? The robo is a little bit safer. Like the Koreans will do this build with a twilight and a later robo, but the robo makes it just so much easier to micro. Like an immortal is much easier to micro than blink stalkers, in my opinion. So that's why I recommend this build for beginners, because it's very simple. But once we get close to +1 being finished, we'll be putting down. We'll grab the watchtower, by the way. We'll be putting down, and we'll scouting to see what he's doing. Very important. Once +1 is getting close, we'll put down Twilight Council. I ended up finishing my sentence after all. So we didn't kill the Overseer, a little bit of a bummer. He's on 2 base. That's something that we should have tried to scout, because mutas. So we're not going to panic, because panicking makes things worse. Always try to keep calm. But we're probably going to need the mothership core to come back. Mothership core to come back. get... Are we gonna get +2 weapon? We're a little short on gas, but we get the gases here very early. Alright. Like, this is sort of the opposite, you know, versus Terran. I said, don't grab the gases, they're not important if they're all-inning you. But in this situation, the gases are more than important because, you know, having Blink, having +2, and keeping up the Phoenix production is very important. So in some situations, if what you need is gas unit in order to survive or win, then of course go for the gas. But I guess it's situational. So we probed up to 16 at the third, which is the optimal saturation. Try to see what he's up to. He's just massing up and giving me a lot of time, so we'll go for range. Oh my god. I just realized this is goal speed ahead, where I only have one control group. We'll cannon up there, cannon up here. I'll just leave this here, and then hotkey the phoenixes. Now one little control, or one little trick you can do when you have phoenixes is you can put the rally here and the rally on top. So if the first phoenixes dies, your new phoenixes that are being made will follow the pack. Another little trick you can do is take the mothership core and make it follow on a beefy unit such as an immortal. That's a changeling. Such as an immortal. The reason I'm not doing it now is because I want it in the middle so it can like photon overcharge like sort of quickly the third or the natural. We'll need more gates. Are we gonna need more pattern? We'll make some stalkers. Okay, I only have 3 gates. So this guy is just massing up. Maybe he has an expand in the corner. Let's try to scout him. Oh wow! By reflex, I put the phoenixes on 2. My apologies. Alright. Yeah, 2 base muta used to be a thing in Wings of Liberty. But these days, we'll get range. We got blink. We'll get +3, so the Zerglings are easier to kill. Though they're already easy to kill because I have +2 weapon, and he doesn't have anything. Let's make a bunch of zealots. Like versus Muta Ling, just having like 3, 4, 5 zealots just to so the lings don't surround your stalkers and everything is good enough. Here we'll make a dark shrine so we can have some archons. My guess is like someone was asking me earlier when I was laddering, like, why don't you make DTs out of archons? The thing about PvP, and it was in PvP, the thing about PvP is your gas, you're not trying to save your gas as much as you are in PvZ. So if I make DTs out of archons, it's okay. And in my opinion, I might be wrong. Some other players might disagree with me. I feel like I can just win this guy by A-moving, just because his third was too late, but... Okay, let's have some fun. Chrono all the things. We have range, which will make things a lot easier. Well, I guess it will be hard to, I'm just gonna use my mouse to have 100 APM. How many?
Your probes are under attack.
Why are you turning back?
Warp field online. Base is under attack. Understood.
So yeah, at this point, the game's over. We're just gonna take everything.
Upgrade complete.
You know what? One control group, right? And even though you're using everything in one control group, you can always box whatever you want to use, so you can micro those. So we're going to transfer. We're going to add by using shift and 1. That way we don't have to do control. And yeah, this look at this. So that's why sometimes you have to stutter step so that your stuff can move out or move in, actually. Zealots without charge, they're not really good. Alright. So we won. It was a little A moving sometimes can win you games. Like sometimes I'll see some silver players. They'll see something, they'll see a threat, and they'll try to answer it. And while if they could just go and counterattack because they don't realize they're ahead, and they don't go counterattack, and then they end up dying. Like, you know, if you see mutas and you don't have the time to make phoenixes, sometimes counterattacking is your best bet. Is this guy bronze? Is that bronze or gold? I think that's bronze. Wow, this account got a lot of MMR DK. But if we never stop winning, things will get easier. So it's a PvP. A lot of people have been asking me lately, what's a basic build order in PvP? And it's a tricky question because when they ask me, I always think, what at my level do I do and what could I recommend them that's not too complicated. And especially with the Mothership Core change, it's more tricky than before. You know, before the Mothership Core change, you would get a lot of vision. Now you don't. But I think a 2-gate into blink or into defensive, depending on what you scout, is pretty good. So we're going to try to make that work. And the build order will be on my website, desrowfighting.tv, tomorrow. It'll be on the front page as soon as the post is up. We'll go speed ahead, episode 2, or episode 1, season 2. So we want to 13 gate, and then there's two options you have. You can scout after the gate, but at my level no one does that because you lose a little bit of money. But at your level, it's probably easier to scout on 13 because you get to see right away if it's a 4-gate, if it's a cannon rush, if it's a proxy. So we'll scout right away. The thing is, like, when you scout like this and then you have to double gas before putting down the cyber core, it delays your cyber core, while if you were to put the probe back into your base, the cyber core would be barely delayed. And by delayed, what I mean is that once the gate is finished, as you'll see, I'm not going to be able to put down the core right away. You see there's a little bit of delay right there. I have to wait. There you go. So we'll do 2 on each gas. 2 on each gas, just like that. Chrono again. So now we scout him. Is it a 4-gate? No, because he's grabbing a second gas. So that's if there's a second gas, it's not a 4-gate. They might 4-gate with a second gas, which is not efficient, but they shouldn't. So we're scouting again. Now the step after that, is there a third pylon? It might be a proxy. So we need to be on the lookout for that. And by a proxy, I mean like a proxy Stargate over here or over there with the third pylon. So we see the third pylon. So because of that, I said we might do defensive 2-gate or blink, but because of that, we'll be doing blink. So there's only one gate. He's got a bunch of chrono boosts saved up. We can assume that it's just bad macro. Oh, and speaking of bad macro, my third pylon is very delayed. But those are two good steps to figuring out. Is it a 4-gate? Is it a proxy Stargate? No, no. And then after that, you know, just put down the Twilight. Well, I should be making 3 Stalkers right away, but I'm supply blocked, so we'll just go with the flow for this one. If I didn't get supply block, the build would look different, and it's going to be written down like if I didn't get supply block on the website tomorrow, just in case you really want the full version of it. But you know, when we do it live, it's live television. You have to go with the flow. Sometimes you don't have time to blurb the swears, all that stuff. So we've got a good defensive position. We've got a pylon here to see an oracle coming, because you know it's not proxied, but it could be in a space. And then we'll start with blink. Now there's not really any reason to stay up here. Of course, if he's 4-gating, we kind of let him in for free. But with this map, photon overcharge doesn't even reach the ramp, so it's something that was bound to happen anyway. Now, with this, we're going to make just not really the best place for proxy pylon, because he might make one over there if he wants to attack me. So we'll make a proxy pylon and then scout. The thing that I would do normally with this build is I would try to poke with my first Stalker, see if he's fast expanding. And because of the way that I got supply block, I didn't get to do that. So if he's doing a very fast expand and my probe doesn't see it, we're in trouble. Like, he's gonna have a good economy, I'm gonna be a little bit behind, but not that much trouble. Like these days in PvP, if you expand later, as long as you apply a little bit of pressure, you're still okay. There's a probe there, so he's showing intentions that he wants to expand. So we've got the robo in case it's DT. We've got the blink that will help us put pressure, that will help us defend oracles. I know blink is not the easiest thing to do if you're trying to have 100 APM. Trust me, I found that out in the first game versus the Vikings. I just wanted to snipe them all, but I had to hold back. So now we need another pylon. Putting it over here so we can warp in on the low ground is very good. A lot of time people get confused with the pylon. As you can see, all my pylons have a purpose. This one for putting tech in the back. This one probably should have another pylon because it looks like an Arthos' pylon. Yeah, like this second pylon should have been there. Just make a bunch of stalkers. And we'll scout with hallucination, figure out what he's doing. And this one's for oracles to see them coming. So because we have an observer, because we have photon overcharge, I'm gonna make another observer so I can blink up or shoot up, and we're just gonna move out. Oh, well, look who's moving out. We're gonna try to go buy time. Now, actually, we're gonna cancel the observer. We're gonna try to go buy time. Oh, my mothership core is not hotkeyed. I was like, why is it not hotkeyed? Okay, so that was, we bought a little bit of time. Photon overcharge. Attack move. Okay, warp in more, and now Immortal, chrono all the gates. And because he has a few Immortals, I'm gonna make a few Zots just to help me buffer. Oh, not the greatest micro. So you see he has like 2 Immortals, so not the easiest situation. But we're gonna cancel one of the Immortals so we can get 2 sentries, and then we can take we can be on top of the ramp so that when he comes we can force field and he's not going to be able to retreat. Oh, I had another sentry there. Alright. Just like that. Blink. Alright. And the reason I took the ramp was my natural kicked in, and I started having more units than him, and so I could take an aggressive position like that. If I wasn't so far ahead, I would have just waited for, because my Mothership Core had a second photon recharge, and so I could have just stayed next to my Nexus. So, ended up with 55 APM that game. Trying to explain everything I'm doing. If there's something that you feel I should cover, I'll just leave it in chat. And yeah, searching for another game. I see some of you guys saying I should do this more. If you really like the show, go to ggtracker.com and start uploading your replays. Because, you know, in the end, ggtracker pays me to do this show. So the more love you show on Reddit, the more love you show to ggtracker, they see a return of investment and they'll want to do more. For now, before last year, Gold Speed Ahead used to be weekly. For now, it's going to be monthly. But if you show enough love to ggtracker, we might be able to step it up and do it bi-weekly, maybe even weekly. So if you really like the show, you know what to do. Leave a comment on Reddit and visit ggtracker.com today. So we have another PvP. Is it the same guy? Whoops, caps. So, so I showed I could. Oh. So last game wasn't a perfect example of the build, but we'll mix it up. We'll do Stargate. Stargate is sort of flipping a coin, but a coin where you have like 80% chance of not dying and 20% chance of like being very behind. Let's say like they do Phoenixes, right? It's gonna be tough if they kill your Oracle for you to move on from that. But you know, everything in life has a risk. Even drinking water? No, maybe not. Anyway, so yeah, we'll do again 2 gas before core, scouting on 13. Looking for proxies, just as I'm doing right now. Yes. Okay, I'm being told that, well, I'm being told that 80-20 is not a coin flip. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's not. But my point stands that you can die 2 Phoenixes and it might leave you a bad taste in your mouth. But as long as you don't feel too bad about it, and as long as, because this is a lot of fun to kill stuff with an Oracle. We're not gonna proxy the Stargate because making defensive void rays sometimes can be useful. Not all the time. You know, let's say they have blink stalkers. And they micro really well, you know, if you're getting up to plat or diamond. Defensive void rays are not the best, but if we're talking no blink, or if we're talking in a situation where you're the one attacking, you're the one who knocks, 2 or 3 void rays, you know, 2 base versus 2 base can be really good. So 2 on each. Actually, we'll do 3 on each gas because Stargate is more expensive than the 2-gate blink opening that I wanted to do, or that I did last game. Alright. So this guy has a weird build. Very weird build. He might be aggressive. So I'm not sure how I want to do this. It's really not the typical build. He did 2 gates and then a core with 2 gases, but he's mining only from 1. And then he's chronoing his gate, but nothing's being produced because he forgot a pylon. So everything that's going on with this guy's build has gone wrong. So I was gonna make like a zealot and a sentry if his build was a little bit more in order, but because it's not, I'm just gonna Stargate first. Now Stargate first, if he was to do an aggressive build, is a little bit more risky. But like I said, you know, this the zealot stayed around, so I'm gonna cancel my zealot and just make more probes and get my gates up. Get the gates up. So 3 gates Stargate, and then while you're harassing, you can expand, because you know the thing about expanding in PvP is that it's almost always doable as long as you can buy time to make a bigger army. So if you can buy time and have photon overcharge, let's say the Nexus is not finished, well, I can't photon overcharge it, and I'm not mining, right? So the 400 minerals investment that you do into an expand, if you have time, let's say like you don't kill any probes, right? But you have time to mine enough that you get those 400 minerals back plus more, then your army is going to be bigger. But if I kill probes, but I don't have time to mine, my army is still getting bigger because my economy is better. So I literally have 0 units, but that's because I'm right here and I see that he hasn't moved out. So we'll even start doing long distance mining because, oh, he's starting to move out. Oh, it should be 1 control group, my bad. So it's a 4 gate. We're gonna shift command so I can go back in macro. So we got 10 kills. So we'll get some sentries. We'll get some sentries so we can trap. We'll make a defensive void ray. Got some sentries so we can trap his army. So that way, when he comes in into the photon overcharge, I can trap some of his units so he doesn't like get away with them. And my army is gonna get bigger and bigger. My army, if this guy gives me about a minute, my army is already gonna get bigger, because I killed 10 probes, and so he won't be able to support the 4 gateways that he made. So photon overcharge, trap this, and then his army will never be bigger than mine, no matter what he does, because I'll make some zealots, because the thing is I can't support, I don't have enough production. Like I'm gonna start floating, like I need a 5th gate, or 4th gate, but because of the Stargate, I can keep my money low enough. So we'll just counterattack, because, I mean, like, technically the right thing to do would be to not counterattack, because, you know, you have to expand, and there's always the chance that you, like, mess up your micro, because, you know, you're not gonna have the defender's advantage, he's gonna have it. But I feel like by killing those 3 stalkers with charged void rays, he's never gonna have an army that can match up to mine. So that's why I'm going on the offensive. I'm gonna chrono some gates, even though I'm gonna be supply block, and that's sort of a waste, as you can see right now. Okay. As you can see, he has four stalkers, and you need more than that to kill void rays. So, didn't work out too well for him, and a GG. How many APM? 51. We're getting lower and lower. Let's go again. Again, if you have questions, feedback in the chat or on YouTube, or on my website, or on Twitter. Everything desrowfighting, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, desrowfighting.tv. Feel free to let me know. There's a question in chat, but it's sort of, I don't think it's for me because it looks very it looks very all over the place. Someone's asking me to do a gate and a robo and to expand. If you make the robo before you expand, that's just, it's not beneficial at all. There's nothing really good about it. What we're going to do this game is we're going to do an Oracle into Colossus. The reason I'm saying into Colossus is because the recent Widowmine buff made Charged Lot Templar very weak. So I don't want to send you guys into a minefield. Yeah, I know the pun. But, so we'll do Oracle into Colossus. Things will be a little bit different because, you know, we're not going to have as much gas for Blink. But, it'll be interesting. There you go. Again, once again, if you really like the show, make sure to go leave a comment on Reddit. That's the best way to help out the show. Well, no, the best way is to go on GG Tracker and use the website. But after that is to raise awareness by leaving comments on Reddit. Really appreciate any comments, any feedback. And, of course, for you, I appreciate that you guys are watching the show. Because if a tree falls in the forest but no one's there to hear it, does it really make a noise? Yeah, I know. I'm too deep. I'm too deep. Alright, so we scouted after the gate. Again, oh, so that's a very late gas. Or maybe he's going to gas. No, that's a very late gas. Now, a very late gas could be that he's not sure, or he's not qualified to be making a build order. That makes sense. Or, like, yeah, because he's not making Marines. I think he was just like, oh, I forgot my gas. Oh, I'll just wait for the Reaper. Oh, now it starts to flash, as you can see, the little lights. So, and then, can we click on the gas? Yeah, it started to flash because he got enough gas for, he got enough gas for a Reaper. This guy's messing with me. Alright, so Mothership Core, doing the camera locations, grabbing the gas now. I know I said I will do Oracle, and I will be doing it. This version of Oracle is safe, in my opinion, and it's very good. It just comes out a little bit later, so, you know, we get the Stalker, we get Warp Gate, and then we get the Stargate. So it's a later Oracle. It's not going to be like a game-breaking Oracle, like they should have enough Marines that you don't kill everything, but the goal is just, you know, to mix it up, open with an Oracle, and then the Oracle later on will actually, oh shit, I hotkeyed the Mothership Core, I'm sorry guys, put the pod on there, so I can't. But yeah, the goal of the Oracle is just, you know, to get some map presence, sort of, like you can always, oh, my Stargate is late by 50 gas, alright. Oh, I messed up my camera locations. I'm doing so much at once. But yeah, the Oracle is just, you can cast a Revelation onto his army, and that helps you track where his army is. So that's a thing about the Oracles that are really nice. After you're done harassing with them, we'll be making only one because they're very expensive. Like I'm gonna do a robo right now. This build is not like if you're trying to qualify for WCS, I do not recommend this build, as I haven't done it a lot, but it's not too crazy, because at the end of the day, if they're trying to push right now, well, I was supposed to get inside his base and figure out if it's a factory or not, but if they're trying to push you, you have Photon Overcharge, and Photon Overcharge is really good at buying time for you to get maybe, you know, an Immortal, or to bring back the Oracle, depending on how many Marines there is. So we're not going to hotkey the Stalker, we're just going to hotkey the Oracle for now. Then, oh, I forgot to upgrade with the Forge. Put down a cannon in case it's a Widow Mine drop, because we don't know, we didn't get in. And then go for the Colossus. And then start adding gates, so we have enough production to survive if he wants to attack. Transform the gate, move in with the Oracle, keep making probes in the meantime. Pop the Oracle. It's, I'm not sure why there's an add-on on the factory, but we'll make sure to keep track of the... So the Oracle has no longer any energy. I think he's gonna drop me because... Okay, we're just gonna send it and now hotkey the Stalkers. Oh, that's supply block. Cancel the probes. Cancel the probes so I can make... Oh, 2 drops. That's, I've never seen that before. Whoops. So he killed about 5 workers. That's pretty good. I know I'm floating a little bit. Oh, messed that up. So I'm just gonna get a few Stalkers. Oh, he's still there. Okay, so we're gonna try to go back and harass. Oh, the gas. Second Forge. Range. Oh, so we'll do old position over the gas, then we'll do old position over the other gas, and then we'll do old position over here. Okay, well I ran out of energy. Is that an expand? No, that's more barracks. Oh, why is there a bunker? We need more pylons. Get the upgrades going. I did not keep my forges. You see how messy it is for me to do everything? Hotkeys are the way to go, guys. You'll just be much quicker every damn time. Oh. Oh. We're gonna focus the mid-evac with the Nexus. Hold back the Colossus. Focus the mid-evac again. And the mid-evac, well, that didn't go too well, but... Alright, so we're gonna expand. At this point I can pretty much just attack move. But... we're still gonna expand. We're gonna expand because I don't have 7 gates. And without the expand I'd be floating 400 more minerals. And so... it's not like the money could be instantly spent on something more useful. Well, the Colossus, but... Okay, the problem coming up. Send back the Oracle. One thing you can do is you can try to harass somewhere before you attack them to distract them. So, we're gonna do this. So, like, you see, like, he's like, oh, the Oracle. But then I come in. Okay, try to focus the Viking. Okay, like once you see that the battle is won, if you go back and chrono boost your gates, it helps the macro. So like, it looks like I'm gonna win the fight, so might as well go make sure that I chrono my gates, that I macro better, make sure that I have pawn on so that I don't get supply block. Oh, camera location wasn't set up. Do I tell him, guys? Do I go and tell him? Okay. So again, if you have feedback about my commentary or actually, it's been an hour, so we're gonna round up the show. Hopefully, I do this right. I should have prepared this morning. So if you don't know what GG Tracker is, it's a website where you upload your replays and you can keep track of how much you spend your money. You can keep track of your APM. You can track your progress, so you can upload all your replays. And yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a bunch of gold speed ahead with Desro. But yeah, it's just like, so we take this replay, for example. You see, like at this part of the game, you can see like, you started with 10 Marines, 30 Marines. You know, you can see like how much army value, and then they were spending. Is this a GM replay? But all my replays that I played today will be on GG Tracker, and then also tomorrow, if you go to desrowfighting.tv, there'll be an article with there'll be a gold speed ahead article. This is taking a little bit of. Sometimes it's quicker. I think I know why, but so there'll be where is it? There'll be a gold speed ahead. You'll click on the thing here, and there'll be all the build orders below the video, like right here. There'll be all the build orders, and so if you there's a missing R over there, but yeah. So gold speed or GG Tracker. Make sure to upload your replays, keep track of your progress, and then tomorrow there'll be the build orders and the VOD on my website. So if there's any questions, I'll answer them in the stream. And if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to ask questions. I always answer. I actually like helping people, so I try to answer to everything that's posted on YouTube. Let's see how many games we played. I know one guy left very quickly, like the second game. So we played exactly 5 games. I tried to commentate my best. It was my first time doing it since a long time. Next week, or next episode, which will probably be in a month, what are we going to focus on? I'm not sure exactly. If you have something that you want to see, tweet at me, leave it in chat, leave it on YouTube, or on Reddit. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good time.